Welcome back to Dark Souls. My name's Gordon, or This Dying Earth, and this is a good episode. This one's going to be a doozy. This is probably one of the funnest experiences I've had in Dark Souls, playing through this area. It wasn't recent, I did this like maybe a month ago, but yeah, you'll see for yourself. So I was a wee bit casual there. Normally I wait for these infested ghouls to come up the ladders, but I think maybe this is why this section of gameplay was so exciting and so different for me when I played it compared to the experiences I normally have coming through Blighttown, was maybe because I was kind of rushing. Not rushing, but like I was rushing my way through, like they're taking risks and being casual, and under normal circumstances I wouldn't do that. And I think I mentioned in the previous episode that Dark Souls is sometimes at its most entertaining when you lose control of your not your character. You don't lose control of him, but you just you go about things in a slightly different way, or you get overwhelmed and you start to panic. And panic in Dark Souls is a prelude to death. But anyway, so we've got this rickety bridge, if you could call it a bridge. It's more like a gangway or a walkway, and it gave the first time I came through here, it gave Blighttown this funhouse atmosphere or feeling, and I just love Blighttown. We've then got this queer walkway, which maybe some new players that are not used to Blighttown would just walk straight off of there. So there's all these wee kind of fun elements to Blighttown. Snipe this infested ghoul from distance, and he starts to aggro. And we can see there's the first Gravelord Phantom in the distance. And that's the good thing about Dark Souls. Sometimes you go to pull a guy, and through his own stupidity, he starts to come towards you, and his pathing, or his AI pathing, sends him to his death, basically. Which should happen any moment now. I was trying to get it to correspond with what I was trying to say, but no, timing's all wrong. But yeah, so back to the bonfire. We're going to make our way forwards. That's like kind of wee detour. You can pick up a couple of wee items like humanities. Normally I'm not as good with a bow as I was there. That was a kind of lucky shot. But just take out these dogs first. I started to use the Morning Star. I just wanted to mess around with some different weapons. Maybe that was due to the ENB's influence. And now I get grabbed, and that's... is this death for me? No, it's not quite death, but yeah, their grab attack is a real bitch to deal with. But yeah, the Morning Star, I just decided I want to try a new weapon. I'd been using the halberd for a while, but the Morning Star, I found out that the Morning Star was just a wee bit too slow for this area. But a lot of these enemies down here are susceptible to bleed, and the Morning Star produces bleed. But there is a weapon around here that actually has a better bleed value, or it's stronger in the sense that you can bleed enemies quicker, and that's the Iato, which is a katana type weapon, and we'll pick that up shortly. It's a perilous jump across to the Iato, and I'm glad they made it like that, because again, it just adds to the sense of trepidation you've got coming through this area for the first time. You see this item, treasure in the distance, and you want it. This guy's trapped in a pot. I have no idea why. Yeah, watch out, there's a wee trap off to the left here. That ground is unstable and you'll fall through it. I end up getting myself in a wee bit of a pickle here. I nearly walked into the trap and then remembered at the last moment that I would fall through there. Then trying a couple of parries, managed to get that one off, but because they were a different elevation I couldn't get the riposte. But yeah, these guys, these infested ghouls, they're not very intelligent, as you can see. I think they've been out of the sun for too long down here in Blighttown. Although in saying that, you can actually see daylight from above, but I don't think it penetrates very far down here. as ENB again. Sorry to keep mentioning ENB's name, but I'm a great admirer of the research and the effort he puts into all his Dark Souls videos. And anyway, so he was recently in Blighttown in one of his videos, and you could see, he was pointing out, that you can see Firelink Shrine from above in the walls of Lordran, or Anor Londo. I think it's right to say Anor Londo is part of Lordran, and Lordran is the walled city. I could be wrong, maybe Anor Londo's the walled city. But yeah, anyway, so this is how you make the jump over to the Ayato. You kind of like run in a curve kind of thing, and I would recommend, I don't know, I think I kept this on at 60 frames per, no, this is in 30 frames per second. If you're on 60 frames per second and you're using DS Fix, turn it off to 30, because in 30 you get a longer jump. And just made it no more. And this is a katana type weapon. It's decent, yeah, it's a good weapon. Worthwhile using if you want to try something like that. And now we've got the blow dart guys. They're a major pain in the arse. Don't forget to get your blooming purple moss clump. The good thing is that these guys drop some of that, and they'll also drop, as you've seen, the purple moss clumps. You really need a bow or some kind of long distance weapon to pull enemies in Blighttown. Otherwise you're going to get yourself into situations that are dangerous basically, and you're probably going to die quite a lot. So here's the first, well, we've seen that might be the Gravelord Phantom we've seen actually earlier on, but is there much difference between them? Yeah, they're aggressive, and they'll chase you from further away, and they won't give up as easily. And this guy seemed to get stuck in some kind of like a loop, where he kept doing this grab attack, and I was wanting to try and parry him. You can see that they're the ones that are holding a corpse or a doll or something like that, but I think it is actually a corpse that's rotting, and you can see the rib cage and whatnot. That's the other good thing about Blighttown, is gravity is your friend. So don't hesitate to knock them off the edge if you get the opportunity to do that. I just kind of backed away there at that point because I was kind of low in health, and I thought that there was a chance that he might kill me if he hit me again. So, but then gravity's his bitch now, and off he goes. One of the things I love about Blighttown is that the background seems alive. As you're walking through and making your way through, you just get this feeling of things are creeping around and kind of slithering out of the shadows. And that is an excellent design feature of Blighttown. So this guy is a parasitic wall hugger, I think. That's his official title, or its official title. And you can see that he's guarding a treasure. And it's interesting that that item is below that wall hugger. Leads me to believe that perhaps the person that came through here that was holding that item is power within, which boosts your attack values and stamina recovery and so on and so forth. It's a great item, and obviously your health ticks away as you use it. But yeah, so the person that maybe came through here that possessed that item perhaps was killed by the parasitic wall hugger, and his loss is our gain, or her loss. And so here we get a bit of a fuck up. This is a bit Lauren Hardy-esque. This guy doesn't seem to understand how to get down from there, even though he just walked up the ladders, and then these two can't figure out which one's going to come down, so he falls down fortuitously, or, well, not fortuitously I suppose, because he just got killed. Oh no, he didn't actually survive. You could hear him breaking the pot. You actually get a sense, another thing in Blighttown is you get a sense of, sorry, here's Mr. Gravelord Phantom sneaking up behind. But yeah, I suppose that ties in with what I was about to say. You notice that Gravelord Phantom that snuck up behind us didn't instantly attack us. It's like a, example of Miyazaki's sense of fairness, that these enemies down here, because you're in the dark, you're in a confined space, it would be so easy to make this a very, very challenging area by just having these enemies outright attack you on sight, as soon as they became aware of you. He eventually gets his revenge on me, that Gravelord Phantom. The grab attack, you know, if you're low on health, is just going to kill you. So that was my fault. But yeah, back to the point about Miyazaki and fairness. You know, the enemies here, you hear them screech and, you know, scream at you, or growl at you, or whatever it is that they're doing. And, you know, that gives you the opportunity to become aware of them and to get your hit in first. So yeah, I mean, you know, I think that's, you know, a fair way of doing it. So, as I mentioned earlier, gravity is our friend, and it really is when you're up against it with these enemies, especially if you've got the Gravelord Phantoms here. You know, use whatever tactic works. But this wee section is quite dense with these infested ghouls. You know, we've got another one. There's another Gravelord Phantom coming. And I thought it was quite interesting when we killed that parasitic wall hugger. You noticed, I don't know if maybe killing him triggered the attention of a lot of enemies. Nearly got him off the edge here, so close. So we actually got 2 of these Gravelord Phantoms. You know, but again, gravity. Thank you. So sometimes drawing enemies to a better position is the way to go about things, you know. Getting them to the edge, drawing them closer and closer to their doom, and then just pushing them off. That was a good parry there, and we're about to pick up Power Within. But I don't know where this was really confusing me. I don't know where this blow dart enemy is. I was sure I'd taken most of them out, but what I think actually happened is normally when you go up, see those ladders we went up? Normally there's one up there. I'm pretty sure that's the case, yeah, there's one up there, but the ladders we were just at where we had to go to get Power Within and whatnot, and we knocked the 2 guys off the side. So I don't know if maybe the blow dart guy fell down from there or something earlier, but he jumped to his death anyway, or he fell to his death. So I felt I needed a faster weapon here. And this is the luckiest son of a bitch. This infested barbarian, the big guy, is the luckiest son of a bitch I've seen in Dark Souls. That hit just went straight through him. And then, wait, honestly I cannot believe this. He smashes me. He gets his revenge. And I'm mid-rolling here. So I thought it was prudent to get out of the way of these 2 enemies and heal a wee bit. He decides that he's going to come down for a bit of action. And then, so I'll go back, I think, right, I'll go back up and deal with the big guy. And then I'll let it speak for itself. There you go. Plunging attack, nope. So he's off to his death, gravity helps us, but the fucker survived. How the fuck did he survive that? Oh well, he's dead now. What the fuck? How the fuck did you survive that? And he's pleased with himself, giving a roar of approval. Honestly, I'm impressed. So we'll have to deal with him when we go down there. There's an item down there, that's the whip. Don't bother going for it, it's absolutely hopeless. Unless you're a completionist and you're looking for everything. It's worthless. And this is the last wee section of the upper tier of Blighttown before we reach the swamp. And there he is, Mr. Lucky Son of a Bitch. I was honestly half expecting something like him to, you know, strike me out there like I was a baseball or something like that and strike me out the pitch or the park or whatever. But no, I managed to get the last word in with him. I was just looking around because I couldn't believe he actually survived all these falls. So these guys, they emit fire, or they also, the very rare attack, they can actually drop, it's like a bomb, but it looks like they've shat themselves or something. It basically does come out of their arse, and I'm sure that for the guys at FromSoft had a laugh with that because yeah, it looks, you know, funny when you see it, but it very rarely happens. And we've got another one of these blow dart bastards to deal with, and he missed thankfully every time, which is strange. That's never happened to me before. I didn't even need the spider shield. We pick up the Wanderer set and a brilliant weapon, the Falchion. If you upgrade the Falchion, it's got like, you know, these, the R2 strong attack is these like kind of combo whirlwind attack. Like the one you get in The Witcher kind of thing. It's excellent. I don't know how that beast managed to get in there, that's strange. There's a lot of weird things happening in today's episode, or unusual things. But that's Dark Souls, I suppose. And that's, you know, Dark Souls has the potential to do that, you know, all these strange events and occurrences that don't happen in every playthrough, and that's what, you know, makes it such a... Yeah, no wonder I'm screaming there, because these fucking things are so annoying. I apologise for all the swearing, but... Yeah. These mosquitoes are a major pain in the arse. And they infinitely respawn. So you can see down there to the left we've got a lot of trouble. We've got 3 Gravelord Phantom infested barbarians. So there's not a chance that I was going to take them on right away. My first priority was to get to that bonfire. And I don't have the rusted iron ring, so I'm going to be, you know, like walking through molasses. But these, I think these are giant mosquitoes or something like that, these are called. So in either form, the wee ones or the big ones are both annoying pains in the arses. But I'll take the giant ones any day over the small ones, these ones that fly up to you and, you know, squirt, obnoxiously squirt poison at you or toxic at you or whatever it is. And don't worry about getting poisoned in the swamp. Your health ticks down so slowly that it's not really something to be concerned about. Obviously you need to keep your eye on your health just to make sure it doesn't get too low, but apart from that. And first time through, a lot of players miss this bonfire, and you can understand why. I mean, they're probably panicking at this point, thinking shit, you know, I'm getting attacked by all these mosquitoes and beasts in the ground and the swamp slowing me down. And so yeah, they're just looking, you know, they're not looking actually, they're just kind of in fight or flight response, and they're just in attack mode. And that's Dark Souls. Again, there's, you know, Dark Souls is so well designed. This area epitomises Dark Souls and the skills of the FromSoft staff. And it's not just Miyazaki, it's, you know, it's down to lots of people. So we were in human form because we wanted to defeat Man-Eater Mildred. And she's relatively easy, she's wielding the Butcher's Axe. She's got a bucket over her head or something, or a sack I think it is. And she's got the worst shield in the game, the plank shield. I was actually not trying to hit her with the bow, I was trying to hit those stupid mosquitoes. I should have actually dealt with them first, before taking her on. And she's going for the kick to break her guard. But yeah, she's very easy to parry. Those mosquitoes will only follow you so far, so don't worry about that. If you're taking her on in here, you're relatively safe, they'll stay at a distance. Man-Eater Mildred was a kind of in-joke, I believe, according to TNB, by the FromSoft staff. Something to do with one of the enemies in Demon Souls. So in here there's a treasure, and this is actually, see that big infested barbarian that was, you know, the lucky son of a bitch. If he'd just continued to fall, this is where his corpse would have hit the ground. Because that's directly above, we're directly below there. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.